But I like the new setup. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's cute.
Now, Tom built this.
Oh, really?
And then Mike.
Pellets. Yay.
Oh, my God. You too?
What?
It's not a pallet.
Mike Coben said something about it being pallets, and Tom was like, come on. I think technically it's pallet boards. We got a whole bunch of pallet boards, and we screwed them on there and sanded them and
I work
stained
in
them
construction. They look like pallet boards.
I know. But like when Mike Coben said that, it really bothered him.
Dude, you can do a lot with pallets, though.
You
know
can,
what?
but they warped a lot after you can see the ones up here and some of these, and they were straight,
like,
and then they weren't, and that's why they're kind of like together, because we had to stack them on top of each other.
In here, and the humidity going up and down.
We had to stack them on top of each other so that they look even.
But he put so much work into it, and so now it's a running gag. We'll talk about
Mike
the pallet set because of Mike Coben. It's just to get under Tom's skin a little bit. He laughs it off though. But I mean, I think she was right, Aurora, when she was on. She said we need another one.
Well, either we need another one or we need to rearrange
this over a little.
Yeah.
But no, I kind of like it the way it is. Don't fix it. It's fine.
It's just the spacing and trying to get it for the camera.
The black here, but like, I think it's a great set, man. It's a great setup, and it wasn't bad before, but I like it. I really do. So,
are we ready?
Let's do it.
We're doing it.
And here we are. Hello, universe. With us today are Rob Holloway and RED. Let's give it up for our guests.
Woo! Yeah.
As always, we have our producer, Molly. I'm Will Krulowitz, and welcome to Off the Rails Podcast. Yeah, let's get it. So, do you have any questions for these people?
Oh, we're just going to get right into it? That's what we're going to do?
I think we should. Or do you have any announcements to make so we don't forget anything?
There's no foreplay. Just go for it.
Let's go for it.
We should probably, we'll put in a sponsor read for Colwell.
We should definitely do that for a sponsor.
So let's hear from Jenny.
Let's hear from Jenny.
Hi, I'm Jenny Shulka, Director of Human Resources at a family-owned and international company, Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. With 3 offices in southeastern Wisconsin and some of the top agents in the industry, we are here to serve you in all of your real estate needs, whether you are buying or selling. If you are interested in a career in real estate, we offer an in-depth training program to make you successful. Call us at 414-443-2030 or email roy@cbhsr.com.
I don't require foreplay. Let's just dig in.
Do it. Really? Yeah. Damn, man, she's perfect. I have such a story. Like I told you, I also manage an apartment building. So recently,
so no foreplay, right? You just go right in.
No, one of my tenants called me up and she was in tears. She said, I just came back in town. My suitcase is right by the door. I walked in and I saw a roach. There's no possible way I can live here anymore. I'm like, all right, calm down. We come up there and there was the roach and I stepped on it and I looked around in her apartment and it was a fucking pigsty. I would say this girl, without seeing her apartment, she's at least a 9. After seeing her apartment, she's down to a 2. I mean, normal people don't live this way. I mean, she had her little makeup on the when they put the makeup on the coffee table, and it was just a mess, and then just clothes everywhere, just trash overfilled, and it was just like a mess. It's like horrible. Like she's got an addiction or some kind of drinking problem, and so she's like, I have to move. That's it. I can't stay here anymore. I said, okay. I said, well, you're still under release. I said, I will try to get your apartment rented. And I said, and I would like to make some appointments to show it, but I can't show it in this condition.
Yeah.
I said, you have to clean it up. She says, okay, no problem. So I said, well, when can I start to show it? She goes, well, I'll clean it up this week and then you can start showing them this weekend. So I made appointments for Friday evening. I made 2. And so she said she would be out of town, going back out of town. Fine. Okay. So right before the first appointment, I opened up the door and just stuck my head to have a look around, and she hadn't done a thing.
Oh.
It was, and now I'm embarrassed
Mm-hmm.
because I have to show this apartment in this condition. So the guy shows up. He's an Indian guy. He's a doctor. And he asked me before he goes in, do you mind if I take some pictures? Because my fiance, we're getting married. She is also a pharmacist in Chicago right now. And I would like to show her the apartment. I'm like, all right, but listen, I say, I have to tell you before I bring you in, it's kind of a mess. And he's like, that's okay. I can tell if it's a good apartment. So we walk in, and I had not walked into her bedroom. And I opened up the bedroom door, and immediately I smell pee. And I look on her unmade bed, and there's a huge piss stain in the bed. And then I'm like, oh my God. And then next to the bedside table, she's got one of those big metal bowls full of wine corks.
Oh no.
And on the other side, I see 3 boxes of the morning after pill.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, this girl gets drunk as a skunk, lets guys blast up inside her, and then pees all over everything. She's perfect. I'm joking, of course. And then so it's like, so he went around, he looked at it, he left. The second guy comes, I tell him the same thing, show him the apartment, he leaves. The next day, the first guy calls me up, and he said, we'll take it. Like, what? Fills out the application, moved in. I mean, I had to get the place cleaned up and everything.
Right.
But a little later on, the second guy calls me and he says he'll take it. I'm like, it's already gone. And I'm thinking, I'm either a very good salesman or that bitch has got some powerful pee pheromones.
Well,
But that's a true story.
they can see, I mean, obviously the
beyond
bed's
it.
going away. You can see the
Oh,
space.
Yeah.
Shit's going.
You know.
Like, how could she leave it like that? I mean, I was like,
Oh, no,
aren't
no,
you
no.
embarrassed?
When we moved into our
Oh, yeah.
house that we live in now, it is 2 flats. When we moved in, the landlord had bought it like, I don't know, 8 months earlier. He had completely renovated our flat. New kitchen, new bathroom,
Mhm.
painted rooms, refinished the floor-ish. Fine. Loved
Ish.
it.
I like that ish.
Well, because
Right.
the floors are old wood is what it is. He said, the girl that lives upstairs is going to be leaving soon. She's got a 5-year-old. And our daughter was like not even 2 yet. Yeah, she was about 1.5 when we moved in there. He goes, she's moving out at the end of the month. She had the creepiest, slimiest, nastiest looking douches coming by the house at all hours. We share the back stairway. The smell of weed was just coming down the back stairway. I'm like, you have a little kid up there. What's going on? She eventually leaves. We were concerned because we thought some stuff of ours was missing from the basement,
Oh, no.
which was a common area. And so we were like talking to our landlord about it. After she left, he goes, do you want to come upstairs? She left toys and stuff. Maybe you want it for your daughter. Walked upstairs. She knew she was leaving. You thought it was get out, get out, get out, because she left clothes. There's a random bra on the floor of the living room. There was a whole pile of dirty clothes in the bedroom. Her Christmas tree is in the living room. Her little son had a beautiful, like, I swear, it'd be at least $200 teepee, like with a wood frame that can be put up outside. Left that. Loved electronic toys of his, like educational play toys.
Mhm.
The best though, went back into the back bedroom, and the bedroom is over our kitchen / our daughter's room. She left a stripper pole.
No.
She had a stripper pole in one of the rooms.
So you use that, huh?
It doesn't work with our ceilings.
Take it.
Gotta spray that thing down.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, you know,
The
that's
smell
funny.
of strawberries and salmon.
Oh, God. You know, that's a funny thing. It's like we used to do that comedy club that was under the strip club. You
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
All right. So I went to the strip club. I only do that like as a bachelor party. I'm not a kind of a strip club kind of
he's not
guy.
either.
But a bachelor party we went, and then so we see the girl with the pole and she's dancing. And then when she goes off, before the next girl comes up, there's a guy in a tuxedo, and he comes out and he wipes down the pole.
Oh.
That's a class.
That's a
joint.
classy point.
That's a class joint.
Because the other places, a girl will come out and wipe it down. But what's worse is the girl that comes out that doesn't wipe it down. She's like, screw it.
Whatever.
Can't be worse than
Or the
anything I
guy
caught
that
already.
sprays
Oh,
raid on it,
my
which is the best.
God. Oh my
Oh.
God. Do you ever go to a strip club, Molly?
I have.
With Tom?
Yeah.
How's that been?
Fine.
I
You
used
like
to like
it?
it. Now I don't.
Tom got upset because I got more attention than he did.
Well,
Oh
of
yeah.
course,
Oh,
of
they like the
course.
women. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we have softer faces. I had a girl tell me you have a soft face because they want to do the boobies on us, get their
Not
dollar or whatever.
everything's soft.
No,
I
but
paid my
now,
money.
now as a parent, I'm like, you used to be my age. That was okay. Now you could be my kid. So now
Let me tell
I'm
you
like,
something. I mean, no,
"Ah,
that's
no."
got something to say because I had 2 sons, and when my first granddaughter was born, I couldn't look at porn for a while. It's like thinking
Mhm.
that's somebody's daughter or granddaughter.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like it just turned me off. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I got over that.
Right.
Eventually. This is the thing. Like, I'm from New Orleans, and in the French Quarter, there are strip clubs. My first experience, and drinking age was 18 back
Okay.
then.
Yeah, yeah.
I was 18, so I went with my friends. We went to a strip club to see what was up. So and
Literally.
I'm not making this up. We get in the strip club and we sit down, and the guy that works there is telling the girl who's going out to dance, "Don't drip on the stage." Like, what does he mean by that? What the hell? And so she's dancing, but she like really wasn't too into it. It was just kind of tiresome, like she wasn't into it. And then like, what's going on here? And then she doubles over with cramps, and they had to come take her off the stage. And I'm like, this is not good.
That's
Oh.
She
terrible.
had, and now I know why he told her don't drip on the stage.
That's
I know, but that
terrible.
actually happened, and it's like,
No,
strip
I was in
club.
St. Louis, and that was the first and only time I saw a full-on pregnant stripper.
oh.
Full,
Then a
like
hand.
full on. And she had a really, I suppose it was pretty when she was thin because she was thin otherwise. A tattoo that went from her one nipple down and became like a huge paisley across her abdomen, and then probably ended towards her crotch. That thing was stretched.
Oh
And
my
she was
God.
dancing, and I was just like, "Ooh, girl, you're desperate for money. That is,
Yeah.
here's $10, please. Put shoes on that thing eventually."
What happened to that baby?
Whose baby was it?
He's so concerned about the baby.
I want to know. Like, your mom is a stripper. No,
The-
but we had a weekend for Ben's bachelor party. You okay, buddy?
What did I say?
No, he's just.
What happened to the
He's
baby?
having. He's having.
He's
party
thinking
by
I
about
wonder what
himself.
happened to that baby.
So
He's so concerned.
Ben went to college
Like
in
your joke
Madison,
with a
so
dog.
we all went down,
People want to know what
and
happened.
we had like a weekend in Madison. So we went to a strip club there, and we got him a little shower strip thing.
Oh, right.
And then there was a girl that came out. Oh, they were the worst breasts I'd ever seen. She was cute. Everything else was nice.
She was
I-
working towards the money to get better breasts.
They were terrible.
Well,
they were
You
embarrassing.
gotta start somewhere.
I know that poor girl.
I've seen
I
some
just-
porn where you're like, she's pretty, and then she
No,
takes off
I've
something and
never
like,
seen
oh, I've
anything
seen,
like
I've seen.
this.
Ugh.
They just looked empty and droopy, and I don't know.
Did you
what
think
it-
of IHOP? Like nice flapjacks.
flapjacks? Indeed. And everything else on it was perfect. It's like,
Spatula.
but why are you looking like working a job in a strip club with
To
those
buy
things?
better boobies.
She could be working
get
at
the
Cafe
job
Hollander.
after you get the boobies. You can
Because
work
they
at
were-
Cafe
well,
Hollander,
right.
I suppose. Did you ever notice, Molly, that we never get asked what we think of guys' junk? Like, oh
Right?
my God, his balls were so droopy and gnarly looking. Car accident happened down there, and
Right.
and he had.
You guys are usually asleep anyway. Listen, man.
Listen,
That's because it doesn't matter what they look like. They're not sexy. Like,
It's the old Jewish man down there.
Sometimes I put glasses on. Them. Hey,
Yeah.
what's going on in here? Get off my lawn.
you obviously didn't see the episode about the Crowlerverse, did you?
No, I did not.
which one?
Yeah, it's well, he talked about like how well endowed my sons were, and it's a long story, but there's a hat over here that says Crowlerverse on it,
Nice.
and
Okay.
we all had them. But like, yeah, I mean, like I don't know, tell the story again, but when my oldest son came out, I was shocked, and I worked in labor and delivery.
You thought there were 3 legs.
He was deformed. I mean, he had a cock,
As a baby.
As a
a baby. And I heard someone say that's a huge baby cock, and I don't think you should ever say those words together.
Yeah, that's wrong.
I was
Right.
offended,
little
and
wrong.
I wanted to sue. But everyone was
would've
wearing a
touched the
mask,
crowd.
and nobody knows who said it. My ex-wife seems to think it might have been me. Maybe she's right. I was in a state of shock. And I was like, oh, he'll grow
Right.
into it.
Right.
And then
Uh-huh.
he didn't. It just kept growing.
Yeah.
So, how long have you guys been doing comedy, and where did you meet through comedy?
Mm-hmm.
We met through comedy. I've been doing comedy since 9/11, which sounds terrible, but that is the date of which I started doing stuff for Roz Turner, actually.
Love
You know,
Roz.
Roz and Samara
Yes,
were
I saw
guests
that.
here.
I saw
Yeah.
that, yeah. And yes, we met through comedy. I was a house MC at that Under the Strip Club,
Okay. Okay.
but I was coming off the road from doing another gig,
Mhm.
and so I was not working that weekend. I was like, "Hey, I don't want to go home. It's early on a Friday night. I'll go to the club and see what's going on."
I'll run in the streets.
I was walking through the parking lot,
Try to find that baby.
Mhm.
and Brian was walking out because he was MCing.
Okay.
And he looked at me and goes, "You gonna stay for the show?" I said, "Okay, I can." And he starts laughing and he walked away.
He said,
I walked,
"You should."
"Yeah, you should stay." I was like, "Okay." I walked down the stairs, ran into some waitresses. "Red, you gonna stay for the show?" I said, "I could." Then the manager walked up to me, said, "Red, oh my God, Red, can you stay for the show? Can you maybe do the show?"
Good.
And I was like, "Why?" And I'm standing at the top of the stairs and I saw a woman in a pleather miniskirt and a see-through leopard shirt walking towards the bathroom. And I thought, oh, please don't let that be the feature. Don't let that be one of the comics. And sure as shit, I walked downstairs. He will tell you that he was attracted to, we were having this discussion on the way here. I said, "What attracted you to me?" He said, "Your aura." Because I was walking down the stairs. He saw me in this light. And I'm like, yeah, I was adjusting my bra strap, pulling my panties out of my crotch and whatever, tripping down the stairs, and walked up to the bar, started talking to the bartender, and the manager said, "Hey, come meet the closer." I'm like, "Okay." Walk over, and I said, he said, this is the closer." I'm like, "Hi, I'm Red. I'm one of the house MCs." And he just kind of stared at me. I'm like, "And your name is?"
Mhm.
"Oh, Rob Holloway." I'm like, "Oh, nice to meet you." And the douche owner, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah.
Good.
So he
Ate
walked
me.
over. He's like, "Red, you gonna do some time?" I went, "Okay, fine, I can." So while Brian is introducing the second show of the night, the owner walks up with a piece of paper that says, "I'm firing that bitch." He takes that feature, that woman, into the corner and he's talking to her. So Brian's laughing and he introduces me. I come on stage. He tells me later that he was like, "Well, I thought she's kind of pretty. I wonder if she's funny. A lot of female comics, they might be pretty, but they're not that good."
Mhm.
And then I actually made him laugh. Then he got off and put me in his act. And he's looking, going, "Did I make her laugh? Because it was a dirty joke. Did I make her laugh?" And I was dying. I thought it was
It's
hilarious.
like eating an orange. Is it all red down there?
Yeah. And I laughed. And yeah, I mean, and he could tell you more about the woman who I felt very bad for, but I was supposed to have
We
my
stayed friends.
was the woman?
Sheila Van Dyke. We stayed friends for a while.
I don't know her.
I was supposed to feature
Yeah,
the first
Connecticut.
time at Potawatomi the next night, and the booker switched us. So then I went to Joker's and she went to feature at Potawatomi, and then he switched me and Brian, so I was the host, so Brian could feature because
Right.
so it just kind of shook out that way. But
Boy, like some of those audiences, oof, and,
yeah,
especially the later ones, and they would come in really late.
I just punish them. I just punish
Yeah.
them.
They would come in late and loud,
Mhm.
dressed nice,
Mhm.
dressed like pimps, but
Oh,
they
yeah.
would come in late. And it's like the thing that got me about that is like, why isn't someone down here policing up? Because they're up there to make sure nobody touches the
Yeah,
girls.
laundering money.
Right.
Right.
They know.
And
Yeah.
there's no one down there to
Mm-mm.
police that room. And it's like, heaven forbid somebody should try to get over on their check because then all the
Oh.
bouncers will come down
Oh,
there.
right.
But it's like, come on, man, you should have somebody in there. Lean in,
Right.
give them a good grip on the shoulder and tell them to keep that. You know how they used
Oh,
to do
yeah.
at the cafe.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
were super
They would not
polite, but
tolerate
they
it.
would put a hand on you to know they were not to be
I was at
trifled
the
with.
cafe a night that somebody threw up at their table. like literally threw up. Most of the audience could not tell because somebody went over right away, grabbed the person, got him out, started cleaning it up. It was so like, if I wouldn't have been sitting in the back where I was sitting, I wouldn't have known. But they knew how to handle the business.
Yeah.
And other places, as we've discussed, just, put a monkey throwing shit on stage and that'll work.
I'd love to get JD out here. I could.
Is he alive?
Yeah.
Last time we ran into him was
He was
at a
in a
street
wheelchair.
festival. He was in a wheelchair with one of his old jamokes pushing him.
Well, he's still alive.
Really?
I didn't know he was in a wheelchair, but
At the time he was. I don't know if he's still is.
But he looked like a much smaller man, like he had been through something.
well,
And I was like, I was
he's
scared of you.
he's not that old.
He's been through
He's
some shit, though,
27,
I'm
isn't he?
sure.
Huh?
He's 27.
He's a couple of years older than me. I'm not that old. You're 20. She's 27.
If only.
If only. Can
From
you-
from your lips to God's ears.
I know, right?
Good.
Well, I
Lord.
knew you when you were in your 20s.
You did. Yes. I thought Will was a stalker.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
He
Well,
came up
because
to
he's
me
standing
and-
like this.
He came
Hey!
up-
No, because the first time I saw you was in South Milwaukee,
Mhm.
and you were doing
Wasn't I doing a
who
gig for Lee?
it might have been Lee, I don't remember. But I walked up to her after, and I'd never seen her before, and I was like, "That was a great set." She's like, "Yeah, whatever." Like, kind of like,
Yeah,
like
that's
I'm
her.
not trying to hit on you. I really
I was a
appreciate
bitch.
it.
I was a complete
Yeah,
bitch.
she was kind of a bitch, and I was like, I really liked her set. Wasn't trying to hit on her, and like, well, then we
Mhm.
became friends after.
Yeah.
But
Pull
like,
your
you were
pants up.
like, you kind of
I was,
defensive.
I was like, who is this guy?
who is this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I go up to
But then
people.
other people were
Right.
saying, "Oh, we know Will."
Yeah.
Your hotel room. It was a great set. Whatever.
In the window. No, but like seriously, because
Third
that's
floor.
afterwards. I thought, I hope she didn't think I was trying to hit on her or whatever. But like, I really liked her set. But like, yeah, like, 'cause she seemed a little like, okay, who is this guy?
But then it was like, "Oh, we know Will. Will's cool. Will's cool." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's right
There you go. So,
then."
you
Let's
know,
tell us about what happened to the baby.
What happened to the baby?
Stripper baby. Poor
what
stripper
happened
baby.
to that baby? How long ago was that?
There's the baby.
Who had the pregnant stripper? It was you?
Oh God, I
How
was
long ago was
I was
that?
in my 20s, so that kid is in its 20s. now.
That baby is out of high school.
That baby is in jail.
In
probably.
jail.
I want to know what happened to the
Or
tattoo.
meth.
Did it bounce back?
Oh yeah.
I don't
What
know.
about the
I don't know. I
tattoo?
have a
How-
girlfriend that got pregnant with twins, and she had a snake that went around her waist, and that snake looked really wide when she was pregnant with her twins. And I want to say it kind of bounced back. I mean, your skin does what your skin does, I guess.
Right. Well, there was one lady that had a rose on her tit. Now that she's 60, it's nice long stem.
Yeah,
That's a good joke. I
Mhm.
like that.
Write that down.
I like it.
Then I'll tell
So-
Ed Gilda.
You guys,
You know, I'm in my 60s, right?
no way.
Well, Bob, you do some great impressions, man.
Thank you very much.
Could you share a few for us?
Who would you like to like?
I don't
I don't know. I opened it for Pryor, and I
You
brought
could do prior?
and I brought Pryor up in his own voice.
Oh, please.
Coming to the stage, a funny motherfucker that is goddamn. This motherfucker is funny. Goddamn, motherfucker. Richard Pryor.
What did he
That's
do? Did you
great.
do? Did he know you were going to do that?
No, well, what happened was I was emceeing at the Comedy Store, and it's like a cavalcade. So one night I opened up for 12 people: Robert Townsend, Sam Kinison, Pryor, Gary Shandling, a lot of people at one shot because they would go, "He's next." I'm like, okay, he's next. Okay, so you just bring him up, read it. You're not really even doing material, you're just doing the guy with the red Porsche. License number 32, please move it. Please. All right, the next comedian, they don't do any material. I'm like, that was an announcement, And then I saw him. I knew his walk.
Right.
Like, no, that can't be Pryor because he has a certain walk.
Yeah.
And then
That's right. We bet.
I think Shandling was on. Somebody was on, or Gilbert Godfrey. They said, "Get that fucking loser off the stage. Pryor's here. Get him on right now." I'm like, okay. And so we were giving him light. And it was Gilbert. What the fuck? I got the light. Why do I just got on the stage here? And we were just giving him the light. I'm just like,
I worked with Gilbert too.
Right.
He's great.
and it's funny because his real voice isn't like,
Right,
and then
right.
so they're flashing him, and then, so I'm just chopped liver here, so I get on. Now coming to the stage, a funny motherfucker that's got burned up. He's part of the, what did I say? The Ignited Negro College Fund president, Richard fucking Pryor. And the place went, you could hear and they went, and they did a 12-minute standing ovation.
Oh, wow.
Sit the fuck down. Come on. Goddamn, man. What? You know, and they were just, I can't do no goddamn jokes. Once you sit the fuck down. Come on, motherfucker. They'd almost sit down and they'd stand up again. And so he wasn't even doing material, he was just talking. Damn,
Well,
I'm broke. Shit, that's
well,
why I'm here. You know?
I've seen like him get an ovation, and
Right.
then the vulnerability of the guy would be like, I hope I'm funny.
Right. The best I ever saw was that week later was Sam Kinison was on stage. And you see the Comedy Store has like this curtain and then the neon things in front of the curtain. So you can see if someone's standing there. And you could tell, I could tell it was Pryor. And Kinison was losing. He grabbed his stool and threw it and almost broke the Comedy Store sign
Oh, shit.
and hit Pryor. And then so we had to scramble to get another mic. And they completely forgot that the crowd, they were just talking about being divorced, having money, they were just sitting like on the stoop talking. They completely forgot the whole crowd. They weren't even talking.
So Kinnison was talking to
Right, Pryor. And they were just
Okay.
sitting there going, God damn, I'm broke, man. Fuck. Pussy is just expensive and shit, right? God damn, you know, and then Kinnison would talk and,
That's a great impression.
and they would just go back and forth, and they did maybe an hour, but they really didn't care about it. They were just talking. So the show kind of was like you were hanging out with them. That was
That'd be
neat.
cool.
And then, so Sam Kinison was dating this Asian comedian. I can't remember. I can see her face clear as day, and then
Margaret Cho?
no. You wouldn't have known
No.
her. She was big in LA for like 2 years and then disappeared. And then she stopped dating Sam Kinison, started dating the guy from Scarface. He's a comedian, Angel Salazar.
Angel Salazar, yeah.
So she started dating Angel Salazar, and to make Sam Kinison angry, she started
Pryor.
bringing Angel Salazar to the comedy club.
Check it out.
So then
that guy.
one time, so Sam Kinison and Angel Salazar were going to get in a fight,
Whoa.
and then he threw something.
Sam or Pryor?
Sam Kinison and
Okay.
Angel Salazar.
Okay.
Pryor wasn't fucking right.
Oh, okay.
He was fucking Dolly Parton.
What?
So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
What?
That was a rumor.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll get into that story.
Oh my
So-
goodness.
Sam Kinison was getting ready to fight Angel Salazar, and Angel Salazar did something where Sam,
He's this big. Angel
Right.
Salazar.
but he hit Arsenio, and Arsenio hit her, and then kicked Angel Salazar. And so it's just, you got to see all those guys all the time, and it's just funny. And then
Dude, that's a great story.
and then I saw Eddie Murphy. He was on stage. Oh, I got two Eddie Murphy stories. So
okay.
I saw Eddie Murphy, a real short guy, and
He's
got-
short?
Yeah, he's not very tall, and then maybe about your size.
But he's 6'3", so that's different.
Right. So
Everybody's
he's on
small to him.
stage.
Mhm.
And he's pre-raw. He's working. And the material that he was doing pre-raw, I thought was great. He was talking about hamsters in people's asses. It was hella, but he didn't get any laughs. He went, fuck y'all motherfuckers. That shit is funny. You know, and it's just, I'm like, they're not laughing, 400 people. But that material, he never used any of that material. Then the second time, Murphy was around, but I was sitting with Charlie Murphy. We were on the double. So I was on a date. Charlie Murphy was on a date. And I'm like, that motherfucker looks like Eddie Murphy. I'm like, are you related to Eddie Murphy? He goes, yeah, I'm Charlie Murphy. So we were sitting in a room
Rest
watching.
in peace.
Right.
Mhm.
This is before he even started doing stand-up. He was thinking. So we're girl over there. We're talking. We're making fun of the guys on stage. Man, that guy's terrible, man. Yeah, he is. He fucking sucks. You know what? You know, and that's only I met him twice, but that was the first time. You know, that was fun. What's another one? There's some. Oh, I remember when Robin Williams was stealing material. So Robin Williams always looks like he's making the stuff up. He is, but he's not. He's making it up because
No, I get it.
it's
I
already
get it.
preset, but it's in
We
his
talked
head.
about
Right.
about that stream of consciousness thing
Right.
with some things that he's heard come out,
Right.
and people would confront him, and he would write him a check on the spot.
Oh, so he did some material on Comedy Store. Again, all this stuff was at the Comedy Store. And then he was on stage. He's using some of Sinbad's material when he was coming up. And Sinbad said, I'm going to kick your fucking ass. And he was thinking hundreds of, I'm sorry. And he was just back.
I don't think he did it intentionally.
No, I don't think he
like just that rhythm and things
Right.
like that, and things that he's heard would just come out.
and it
of
was
his
just funny.
mouth.
Like, wow.
Because I mean, you can't deny how funny he was,
Right.
and also what a great actor, a serious actor
Yeah.
he was. The talent on that guy, but like I don't think
Right.
he intentionally stole.
No, I don't
anything.
think it. And then Sam Kinison was always nice to me. Like when I opened, so I was trying to get into the Comedy Store and get as a and no one.
You
Mitzi,
passed as a regular.
yeah, Mitzi wouldn't answer the phone, this and that, whatever. So he said, "Yeah, you go down there and you tell him I said put you on stage, right?" So I went up. I'm like, "Hey, Sam Kinison said I should go on stage. He didn't. You're a fucking liar. Blah blah blah."
Who said that?
But this is the people that I was
That
trying to get
worked,
right. And I'm like, well,
So they
that's
thought
what,
you were bullshit.
So then Sam calls and you put this fucking Holloway on stage. And then so I got on stage and he said, "I told you he was funny. He's raw, but he's funny." And then sometimes I would do stuff for Sam Kinison, like he would run a party and leave. Like he had a house and he ran his party and he goes, "Hey, I'm going to run a party. Just hang out." And he gave me all this money. He gave me like a whole fucking envelope of money. He probably had $5,000 in there. He said, "Go get beer, go get this, get that, whatever they want." I'm like, "Well, where are you going?" "I got shit to do. I don't have time to fuck around with this party." I'm like, "Okay." So there's people.
his own party.
There's people fucking and doing cocaine and this and that. "Hey, we need some more beer." "Okay, I guess I'm getting it. I'm the one with the car." So I would go get more beer. And I remember the guy at the store was looking at me like, "Really? 7 cases of beer?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I would pull out that wad and go, "Oh, yeah, would you like 8 cases of beer?"
Right.
But he would come in and make sure everybody was happy and then leave. He would never even stay at his own. The house was beautiful and it was just a wreck because it was just people, like I said, fucking doing cocaine.
He had
There's
a
a fight.
cocaine problem.
There's people playing pool. There's people going through his fridge, people fucking in his bed. And I'm just like, I don't know how long he wants me to stay. So I would stay like 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, I think I'm done. And then
You go off and leave his house.
Right, he just-
with all these.
and he had
strangers in
a
it?
Corvette, a red Corvette that said ex-rev because he used to be a reverend.
Yeah, yeah.
And he would and I had this extra money. I said, "You want some of this money back?" Because I was like, "Ooh, he said, how much is left?" I was like, $1,500. "You keep it." So 1,587. I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll keep that."
Well, how long did you live out in LA?
Well, I was in LA County from 85 through 88.
All right.
Well, I left in beginning of 89.
So
Yeah.
did you get passed at the Comedy Store?
Yeah, but eventually, it takes. If I was the comedian I am today, I would be doing this show. But
We wouldn't be living in Wisconsin.
right, I mean,
Aw.
I was good, but I was raw. I mean,
We
I
wouldn't have met, actually.
and I had a stuttering problem too, so I could only do impressions. I could only talk, not in my own voice. So I used to.
No kidding.
"Hello, my name's Rob Holloway, and it's nice to be here." And then that's how. And then I would do impressions.
Give
I
us
have to-
some more impressions.
Let's see. There's.
Richard Pryor was
I do Tom Hanks. I sound like Tom Hanks. I finally fall in love, and she's a fish. Michael Jackson. "I'm stalking Macaulay Culkin." Prince, David Lee Roth, James Brown. I mean, just so many different. I could look
Ross
at some.
Perot.
I'm Ross Perot. I mean, there's so many different.
Can I finish? Yeah.
Can I finish? Can I finish? So there's so many different people. Usually I just pick up on it.
I remember seeing you guys at Potawatomi. I
Mm.
think I'm trying to remember it might have been L.A. Like it might have been the three of you.
Probably.
And
Yeah.
I was blown away by your set, and it was
Oh,
just
thanks,
totally
man.
entertaining. It was in the big room too.
Right.
It's the last time I've seen you guys perform. That's how long.
Oh,
it
Yeah.
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
I
don't
mean,
even-
I perform with other closers, but I'd have to say that Rob is the most professional. Like he makes sure that he's there early, meets the owner or who's ever running the room. He pre-writes out his intros.
This sounds like Roz's instructions to tell you to make sure. Remember, she gave us that stuff.
Yeah.
Dress nice.
Yeah.
And that's something that I also learned too. You have to, if people get dressed up to come see you, don't come there dressed like a bum.
Okay,
Right.
but you came to see me with Ralphie May. The people that showed up to see him were equatable to him, so
Right.
showed up in
Unwashed.
greasy, unwashed wife beater t-shirts. You
Right.
know, it just. Yeah.
She
That
has to
was
tell
a-
me to dress down.
I have to tell him
like,
to dress down.
'cause I wear-
That was in the
especially
theater. That
Right.
was great. That was
But-
on Brookfield.
But
right?
I wear 3-piece suits and this.
He'll
and that,
wear
and
wingtips, and I'm
wingtip,
like,
you know.
dude, we're in lacrosse. Like, wear your regular boots. It's cold out. They're gonna look at you
Yeah.
like you're nuts. So I
Well,
have to
that's
talk
true
him
too.
down a
Like
little
if you overdress,
Especially
and
if
they're
the
more
bit, then
Midwest.
they can't
taller,
relate. Then they
right?
can't
They're
relate.
not going to
Yeah,
relate to you.
right.
So
There's
yeah.
so much
Yeah.
that you have to do. I mean, you have to read the crowd too.
Mhm.
I mean, I always like to. This is the thing. Whenever I do a show, I watch the show. I don't just like a lot of people just stand out there. I want to see how they're reacting to the other
You
comments.
see, I have to
Right.
figure,
Yeah.
especially if they start some shit, because then I have to deal with it.
And then I
So,
want to see
yeah.
if they say something that I usually say something similar. I want to take it
Right.
out. I don't want
Right.
to act like I'm glomming off. of
Well,
what
and
they
that's the thing
say.
is working with him. He allows me to stretch if I want to stretch. He will get mad at me if I close up shop. If I'm like they suck. I'm
All right,
out.
fuck you. Good night. Am I
Well,
23
you know what?
minutes? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've always had that be funny or be brief.
Right.
And that's it.
Well,
And my
yeah.
mouth gets dry, I'm out.
Right.
I'm not standing there talking to you with a
Right.
dry mouth. I'm sorry.
But I let her stretch and do
Yeah,
her
but I
thing.
mean, I
and
work
then-
with a small group of closers. So Brian Green and I will work together. Sonia White and I will work together. If Kathleen was still in the area, I've done a couple shows with her when she
She's
was still
funny.
in Wisconsin. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I told her when we first met, I was like, I want to be you when I grow up, and she's like, you got to do better than this, because we were at Safe House doing open mic. And
Oh,
I
and-
saw her rip into a shitty crowd at Safe House. Oh,
Right.
she was pissed. It was funny as a comic, but not funny.
She wasn't able to perform, or she wasn't able to appear on our show because she was sick that weekend.
Mm.
We're going to have her back for Mother's Day weekend
Oh,
there you
in
go.
May. And so we're looking forward to it because Tom's mom's also going to be a guest. So.
Oh.
Oh, and I do sound effects too. So
Right.
yeah.
But his
Right,
sound
so-
effects are impressive because you hear about other guys that do sound effects that use a footboard and shit like
Oh,
that.
so you like?
Oh, you're talking about.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, that's how you
and
work it
I
out.
open
Yeah.
up for him, and they told me.
I enjoyed
They,
his
they
show.
told me
No, his show is
specifically
fine.
no impressions, no sound effects. So thank God I could just do
He's got
material.
material.
But
But
I-
his stuff is impressive because he
that kind of shit. Or I almost started World War III in the Air Force because I can do a siren, like an air raid siren.
Go ahead.
I have to set it up.
All right.
So when they hear that siren, the SPs are called, and then it means there's inbound nukes coming in.
Mhm.
So I'm just walking to lunch in the alcove, and I go, and it's just
Wow.
right. And I'm not.
so he
paying-
can actually do stuff.
and I'm like eating, and I see all these SPs running towards the hospital. Like, what's going on? And then generals up there. Yeah, I think we've got the signal, but there's no inbound strikes in this. No, do I say anything or do I get rid of
Check the
Fuck it,
check.
we're going to
Yeah.
World War III because I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
I'm not getting rid of it. And and then I got in trouble.
Get everybody at level 5 and you're
Right.
sitting there eating.
Yeah.
Yep, fuck.
Sandwich.
I ain't getting ridden up again. Nope.
We're in the red, man.
And then I got in trouble because I was dealing with a patient, and she had a heart monitor, and I started imitating it down the hall, and so. And I was just in the fucking cold blue ran like, what the fuck? Oh, that's just me. Stop doing that. I'm like, I was just imitating what I was hearing.
This is life and death, man.
So I just would imitate shit I would hear. Or a helicopter. Just different stuff.
Nice.
Just good, man.
That is good.
That's very talented. Not everybody can do that type of stuff. I mean, you can stand up and tell jokes, but like,
I
Did
think
you-
I'm just I just look at stuff and I soak it in. Like I'm looking at that popcorn machine. I draw too, so I'm looking at all the angles. I need to draw this. And that. I just whatever I'm looking at, I kind of soak it in, whether visually, verbally, you know what I'm saying? It just all becomes a photographic. That's why I remember all that. Exit 32, and there's a Walmart there, and there's always a broken car, and there's a Long John Silver's, and then it's ingrained. Even if I didn't want to get rid of it, it's there.
But I mean, like he's chatty right now. He likes he's chatty.
good. I'm glad.
We'll
I'm-
do gigs. He's
just-
more the intro. He's not introverted. but
On
he's more the
stage, you see me
introvert.
on stage, and then
Yeah.
off stage,
And then
I'm
off
just,
stage, and so people think he's like this high energy because that's what he is on stage, and it's like, no,
I'm just-
he wants you to go away now. Like we did a gig opening up a casino room, and it was a screw up because it was the last weekend of the prior
oh yeah, that one.
bookers.
Oh yeah,
booking.
Harris.
Harris.
Okay.
We opened Harris for Joe.
Okay.
So he sent us up there.
That's a great room.
It can be.
Well, you should hear.
I mean,
how
like
it-
the stage and
Right.
everything.
But here's some.
So we go up and here the dude. There's another set of comics and the woman that runs the room was like, okay, there's 4 of you, so you features you do each do 15, closers you each do 45
So we
or whatever.
think that there was like Yoder or whoever, and then Bonkers, and they
yeah,
mixed
and-
the date.
yeah.
On
So
the
there's
same
4.
night.
On the
Oh
same
my
night.
god.
So they said, "What do you want to do?" And he looked at me. He goes, "We're going first. I want to go eat."
Let's get
and
out
their
of here.
and their restaurant
they'll have
closes
to
early.
follow us.
Yeah, they
Boom.
got to follow us. So I go up. I do my 15 minutes. I do a strong 15. I get down. The child, I say child because he looked 12, gets up. He goes like 5 minutes in and he does a joke and he goes, "Oh shit, that was my clothes."
I remember
Like
that.
he was just green and not good. So I was taking the train up and he made it go
And then
down.
You made it go down.
So then he gets on stage and he just smashes it out of the park. And then the guy that was closing it, and I don't remember his name,
don't
but I used to
remember.
see his name on placards places. Very large man, very like as big as the stool, very large. You got Rob dancing around in wingtips, and this guy practically needs a walker
Yeah,
to get to
he's-
the stage.
and he sits down.
and
at
he
the-
sat down, and he's just talking, and the audience is like,
No,
"What are we
you
watching?"
can't follow him.
Yeah, he couldn't follow. We went to eat. He's like, "I'm gonna eat real quick. I'm gonna go back and sell some shirts." I'm like, "Okay."
Right.
And he's selling merch, and they're looking at us like this.
And that was a good and bad thing because a friend of mine that was a comedian years ago, he told me at Charlie Goodnight's they were looking for a house MC, and Jimmy Iacovelli, my friend, told the lady who booked it, said, "Why don't you use Rob Holloway?" And she said, "Yeah, and who's gonna follow him as a house?" I'm like, "Wow, that's a nice compliment," because they were looking for house MCs, but I was so
you could take it
high
down a
energy.
notch. But
Yeah.
high energy to get people
I know,
up.
I know.
That's great.
right.
And then you
Yeah.
could take it down a little bit near the end.
Right.
Because I mean, look.
But that was nice. I was like, "Well,
Right.
that was nice." That
No,
somebody was
I
thinking
would
about
get
me.
that because on certain types of gigs, when it's a small homegrown gig, you're at a bar
Right.
or something, and you know how I am. I'll mess with the audience. I'll end up on some old man's lap or something like that. And I had a
That's
female.
your closer.
I had a female feature tell me, "I can't follow you. Like you bring." You get the audience in, and I'm more standoffish. I just stand, and she's like, I had to bring my energy up, and I was like, I'm sorry.
Well, I have to show you in this building. We're talking about putting the show together. You have to see this room. It's amazing. So we're gonna probably try to put a show together at some point. Did Tom talk to those people about what it would cost for us to rent that room for a night?
What, the people that own the place?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked to them. I'd have to
Yeah, we got
bring it up again. It
Okay.
just, well, that's
All
not
right.
for now, silly.
All right, but I have to show you guys before you leave. I have to
Is
show
it
you
that?
the room.
Is it that room when you come in and you can look down into it?
It's
Yeah.
it's like a big gym. It's got
Yeah,
a huge
yeah, yeah.
stage. They
With a
got
nice
they got
stage.
sound system. They got everything.
Oh, that's a nice space.
I'm sorry.
I like old buildings like this.
Yeah, me
well,
too.
me in
Except
construction. Yeah.
that this room gets very cold.
It is a bit chilly. It's a bit nipply in here.
Girls are
So.
just cold natured, and
It's
you know what I
nippy.
tell you about it. Well, I know, but that's because you guys are wax, and if you let your shit grow out, you'll warm up.
My
That's
shit is grown out because he is a man that likes women
I love
from the
pussy.
70s.
damn right. Me too. Me too.
I love putting Green Army Man in there, and
Yeah.
especially the
Well, you-
minefield guy.
You
Oh.
go judging us like you know us.
Are you a natural redhead?
Are you asking me if the carpet matches the drapes?
Yes.
Hardwood floors, baby.
Hardwood floors.
I had a guy ask me that when I was a waitress, and he had his kid with him, like an older kid, not a little baby that didn't know what he said, like a pre-teenager. And I was just like, wow. And I came out with what I came out with, and he kind of laughed, but I was like, dude, that's not a way to hit on a woman.
Right.
I'm waiting on you, and your kid is with you.
The
It's,
way to hit a woman is you want to see your family get raped.
Oh God. Well, I mean, because when I was in the army, a friend of mine had asked me if I had ever had sex with a natural redhead, and I told him yes. I
And then
had.
he pulled his pants
No.
No.
I said yes, and he asked me how was it. I said it wasn't a great experience. She was kind of smelly, and he goes, "That's crazy because I too had sex with a redhead, and she had a smelly vagina."
But we're not talking about like a dark spaniel. We're talking about a human.
I know, but what happened was,
God,
he's gonna rip in the bed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're fired.
I'm just hungry.
So for a few, yeah, his blood sugar's low. For a few months, we both wrongly assumed that natural redheads had smelly vaginas, and it wasn't until several months later we found out coincidentally
It was the same woman.
that we had banged the same smelly ginger skank, and I
Smelly
had banged
ginger
her.
skank.
I banged her first, which I think left a bad taste in his mouth. So that's
But
my redhead story.
You know what? I feel like Irish food tonight for some reason.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry, St. Patty's Day's coming up.
I love corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah. And they make a good shepherd's pie over it.
Molly, you're taking it back to food.
Yeah, I was about to say.
We're gonna turn it into
Sorry,
a
I'm
cooking
hungry
show.
too, and you
Cooking
guys started
show.
it.
Cooking show.
Well,
You started
Well,
it.
you have a few more minutes before the babysitter walks out.
Maybe we should. Oh, you have to go.
Because
So maybe we should go have lunch.
Oh no, we can't.
no,
say
I
lunch.
gotta eat. I gotta get ready to go to work. I gotta get the baby.
All right.
We didn't get
So
to any
maybe
of
we
our
should-
stories at all.
Well, how much time do we have left?
We've been going for. It's up to how much time they've got left.
Yeah, well, we don't want to.
Keep going.
I
Bring it.
have to show you my look at her first.
I saw
St.
that on
Patty's.
Facebook. I
That's
saw
cute.
that. I'm like, stop it.
Let's do another 5. That way we
Let's
can
do
get in the
another
car,
5.
and then we can drive and pick her. And then
Okay.
Okay.
Well, do you want to bring up one of the
I'm
stories?
getting
Is there a
Chinese
story
today.
that you wanted to talk about?
I would like to talk about the story about the burglar.
The burglar one you want?
Yes.
Okay,
turd.
let's do that one.
No, you have to see this. So,
I knew you were going to want to talk about some of these, and I was like, we're not getting to any of them.
well, well, I know sometimes
go.
things are just fun
That's where
and
we said
interesting.
we just need to have you over for dinner.
There you go.
Ribs.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay.
Anything really.
Is there audio in here? I'll share it anyway. Here's the story. Burglar
Oh my
busted
God.
thanks to Cheeto dust on her teeth.
Isn't that great?
Oh my
So
God.
she was caught orange-handed, it says.
Oh shit.
This was in Oklahoma, a home invasion. So what? She broke in and ate their Cheetos,
I
and
think they said by the window they found a bottle of water and an empty bag of Cheetos.
so she broke in and sat there and ate their Cheetos and drank water while she was.
No, it doesn't.
And they probably
exactly
had
get
fingerprints.
into
You know,
it.
so.
I think they kind of saw her exiting the place, and then when they found her, they had already found the Cheetos in the water, and they
Oh.
found
Oh, okay.
Cheeto dust in her teeth.
She was arrested on first-degree burglary charge after allegedly committed the dangerously cheesy act.
Who wrote this?
I don't know, but
it's
they
a
had fun
cheesy
with it.
article.
Stop.
Cops
What
say
is
they
that?
arrived.
New York Post.
A mom and 2 young kids had called 911 to report that another lady had pried the screen off her window and gotten inside. So they were home while she broke in.
That's crazy.
Snack-loving sneak had already fled, but cops said they found a bag of Cheetos. This is another food story, by the way.
Well, whose
This is a
Cheetos were they? Were they
frustrated
stolen
comic.
Cheetos, or did she bring her own?
You see, that makes a big difference.
A
It
few
does.
seconds later, she emerged
the
from the
charges.
shadows.
Emerged from the
But
shadows.
that's terrible
Who
planning.
wrote
either,
this
either
article?
you're eating or you're robbing.
Right.
You can't
One
do
or
both.
the
Says
other.
The
can't
mom
do both.
You
ID'd
eat before you go out to rob.
Right.
The mom ID'd her as the invader, and the bust was further cemented when they found the incriminating orange snack food residue still stuck in her teeth.
How gross that is.
At
too.
least she's got teeth.
I mean, couldn't you just
A
take
good
a
reminder
swig
that
of
Cheeto
something
dust-
and rinse your mouth out? Jesus.
Can be pretty hard to get rid of.
We just did a gig where I talked about a bit that I do, and a woman in Walmart saying something to me, and I'm like, "Well, bitch, you ain't got no teeth."
Ooh.
And a woman came up to me after
no
at the
teeth?
bar.
Oh, yeah,
At the bar,
that
because there was
was-
this drunk guy. He was divorced, and he was having his own party. He came up to talk to me at the bar while Rob's on stage. His girlfriend came up. She smiled, and she was missing like half a grill, like the front tooth, and then good 3 or 4 to the side of
was
one.
this?
Peru, Illinois.
Nice.
Like, I
Just
hope,
busted.
I hope I did not offend the white trash woman. I am so
Let's
sorry.
do the gender reveal one too, if you would.
Do that one too.
I wanted to know when I was pregnant. I wanted to know what we were having because I'm a planner.
community
But did you have a gender reveal party?
That was not a thing.
Yeah.
In my
it is
mind.
I
now.
still don't know
it
why it's
shouldn't
a
be.
thing.
It shouldn't be a thing.
Because people want more gifts, is what it is. Hey, look at how special we are. We're having a baby.
Wasn't that
It
what a
took us
shower's
years to have a
for?
baby. It was a big effing deal in my family, and no one gave a shit.
So there's video for this one. Are we watching the video?
Yep.
Okay.
Device that was meant to expel colored powder for a gender reveal party. Instead, during a test run before the party, the device exploded early.
Wait, it was a
killing
test
Chris
run?
and throwing shrapnel into Chris's younger brother, Michael. Friends had left candles and flowers outside of the Peckney's family business, the Robin Hood Diner in Livingston, New York. His family said on Facebook, "We appreciate the overwhelming display of love and support that you all have shown." State police are investigating
William?
and say there was no malicious intent in this tragic accident. Christopher Peckney was 28 years old.
So did they make a homemade device?
Yep.
How
And
am I
it
supposed to follow that?
exploded. It almost like how these terrorists when they're making their bombs, it exploded on the trial run and killed him and put shrapnel in his brother.
It exploded early when they were doing a trial run.
So what was it? A boy or a girl? That's what I want to know.
It doesn't
I
say.
know. Well, why would they?
Plus,
they-
it was just
No.
a test run. They wouldn't have had the color in there anyway. They're just testing.
But they're having
is
a party.
terrible.
They're not going to tell you whether it's a boy or a girl.
I do not understand gender reveal parties.
All right. I think we should also cover the last one. It's not funny, but because this is amazing to me.
Wait, you're going to do
about-
another one that's not funny?
Well, yeah, because did you hear about this wreck? A semi truck
that one.
hit a SUV carrying some people who were trying to slip across the border.
Yeah, a terrible situation.
See, but you had funny ones.
I know, but this one, we have to discuss it because there were 20. They say between 25 and 27 people in that SUV. How do you fit that many people in an
Ask
SUV?
Rob. He used to do some jokes about got Mexicans.
Yeah, these were Mexicans.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't children because 13 of them died.
Oakville. Let's show you some video from the scene. You're going to see an SUV absolutely crushed by a big rig. We're told this happened around 6:20 this morning on the 115. Where we're at, we are not far from the Mexican border. We are in southeast California.
So was it full of immigrants that were coming across the
Why
border?
were so many people in that SUV? According to the CHP, there were 25 people inside that
I don't
SUV
know.
that got crushed by the big rig. As
I
far
don't
as
know.
what
You had
caused the
people
crash,
on
they're still
laps.
investigating.
They
that.
had-
We
they
still
had
know
to-
the
on laps.
outcome.
I think they took
13
the
teen
seats
people
out.
were killed
Well,
in
they
this
must
crash.
have.
12 of them
They
put 'em in,
pronounced
like,
dead at the
cordwood?
scene,
Stack 'em.
another
Yeah, put 'em in,
pronounced
like,
dead at
cordwood.
the hospital.
But it's
Many
like
others taken to the
Here's
Here's
hospital.
the first
Still
comment. How were
there,
25
getting
people in
taken
that
care
car?
of. Now, the question I said, what were those folks doing in that SUV? So many of them packed in there. Obviously, not a legal situation as far as driving with that many people in the
Well,
car.
my
There
God.
is
A lot
a
of them
kind of
don't
a
have
dual economy
IDs
where
and
we're
like,
at. We're in
it's
Columbus,
probably- I hope it's
Mexican
not
county. It's the
children.
border here. It's really considered by many who live down here one economy. You
And here
have
I see the
farm-
opposite stuff up here where I knocked on the window of a woman who didn't have a license plate and I wanted to let her know in case like she had one and didn't know she didn't have it. And I look in her car and she's got 2 kids in the back, no boosters, no seat cover, you know what I mean? Like they were
Just
they were
sitting there.
basically
Well, that's
like
how
3
we
and-
did as
3 and 4.
kids. We rode around
No,
like that.
but there's more cars on the road now than
I
when we
know,
were
I know.
kids. And
I mean, we just in the back of the station wagon with the
Just
seat
sliding
facing,
around,
just sliding
sliding
around,
around.
cigarettes in your face. That little window
Yep.
would blow the cigarette smoke right
Yep.
into your face.
Okay, well, let's just to not.
Let's end on something funny. What you say? You got something funny?
I think so. You guys seen this?
Oh,
I think it's funny. Taiwanese designer Yi Fei Chen is showing off her tear gun. It collects and freezes actual tears to shoot them back at a person who made her cry.
that's a lot of effort for a low
It's a lot of time to
Yeah,
waste.
it is.
No.
But come on. I thought it was funny.
I think it's
It collects her
saline.
tears so that she can shoot them back at.
I'm aging. I need all the moisture I have.
Right, right.
Other things are drying up. I need all my moisture. Keep all my moisture.
I thought it was hilarious.
But come on. I mean, you can just—it's probably just saline in there. I mean, who collects tears? How do you do that?
How much are you crying? Are
No,
you
it looks
cutting a
like
lot
a
of
pretty
onions?
fancy gun.
If I was cutting a lot of onions, I'd want that. Because it's not your,
Well, my
naturally happens.
I was wondering if, because it doesn't really tell you, it's just a post, like how this works, but can it collect them? Or does it have to instantly shoot them? Can you like just collect the tears of like anger and sadness and then use them later?
That'd be interesting in a relationship. You pissed me off last week.
Right.
No, I'm mad at you again, and I'm gonna shoot you with my tears, you asshole.
I've been saving these up.
I want all my moisture.
And is it like a pellet gun? Is it like a,
Oh,
you know? I don't know.
We want to use one again.
I know. Oh,
I thought it was amusing.
It was.
I don't know. It just
I wonder
seems
what happened to
kind
that baby.
of vindictive. to
he
me.
still wants to know about the baby.
I do
from
too.
The,
I
God.
do.
Curious
I
about the
do.
baby too.
I want to know what happened to the baby. I want to know.
I'm
Oh, did
telling
she
you,
give it up
meth-
for adoption?
Meth or in jail?
Oh,
meth or
maybe
in
she
jail?
gave it up for adoption, and that baby lived a wonderful life.
If you're a stripper and you're having a baby, call me. I'll take your baby.
Or maybe it's a new robot on Star Wars.
Well, what if you're raising a little baby stripper then, and she's gonna grow up with that stripper gene?
As a parent, you just want
Right.
to keep
Stripper
the
Gene.
girls off the pole and the boys off the pipe.
That's
I'll
right.
do my best.
And then when guys, see that stripper baby, and the wife comes in and goes, I thought you were going to stop doing this. And he can go, can't you see I'm trying to cut down?
Well, this is the thing that I think if you
I'm
brought
fine.
up a stripper baby, it would be okay because most girls are strippers because they have daddy issues. A lot of them, or they're going to college and going to money for college. That's bullshit.
I met a stripper once at a club when I was dating a guy. Then we would go to the clubs. Her mother was the one that got her into stripping.
And that girl is that
Look
a
where she came out
Kardashian?
of.
That was the baby. There you
I
go.
guess. Well,
Was
yeah.
her name Kardashian?
Oh, right.
Right?
Right.
Like, didn't she pimp her daughter out?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the
Yeah.
one that got the whole thing going with the sex tape. Ugh,
Hey, she took a lemon and made lemonade.
I guess she did. Yeah,
That's what she did for her family. Oh,
she made a lot
Some
of money.
slutty lemonade.
Well,
really pulpy lemonade.
it just seems like every guy around that family ends up losing their mind, cutting
Losing
off
their
That
mind,
pussy can't
losing
be
their
that
money.
good.
Like, and then like I think Kanye lost his mind. and
Oh,
I think they're
that
getting-
fool,
Oh,
that
he
fool
did.
is already nuts.
Mhm.
Well, I
Good
know,
time.
yeah, but
So,
fool.
all right.
So,
I think, is that,
well, why don't we do the like and share?
oh yeah, you're reminding me this time.
There we go.
There we go. See, teamwork.
And let's
See, we
thank,
just need Tom.
thank Rob Holloway and RED. And it's funny because she's RED. You don't need to know her name. Only her friends know her real name. I do.
Frank
I will
Drebin.
not reveal.
Frank
Frank
Drebin.
Drebin. I will not reveal.
Oh, I want it to be Frank so bad.
Anastasia Beaverhausen.
That's the name I used to use at Avis. What's your name? I'm going to complain about you. Frank Drebin. That's
Way
the
to
guy
go,
from,
William.
that's the name from Police Squad.
Right.
Right.
For the young folks.
Right. For the young folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Frank.
Don't
Well, thanks a
know.
lot, Frank. I'm like, thank you.
All right. Well, where
Did-
can we find you guys? Do you have, I saw that, hold on. I saw that you've got on your thing, your
Yeah, you get a
Facebook here.
I
website?
do.
Do you have a
I got-
website?
No.
I got
Can you
YouTube.
find like,
I got YouTube.
You
stuff.
can
Just
YouTube? You have
type in
YouTube?
comedian Rob Holloway. That's it.
Rob Holloway on YouTube.
That's comedian Rob Holloway. That's
Oh, sorry, comedian Rob Holloway
whoops,
on YouTube.
let me do that. Okay.
Give us one more prior before you go, man. I love that.
What the fuck, man? So you want Richard Pryor, huh? Say, motherfucker, I got something for your ass, motherfucker. Right? Guy drinking beer and shit during the day. Goddamn. Oh, shit. Enjoy exploring experience. Goddamn, son.
There you go.
All
Hey,
right.
and remember, we're not good enough.
We're not. Nope, definitely not.
That's right.
But we're trying hard.
We are. Thank
When you
guys
drink,
so
drive home
much
real fast.
for coming out.
Thank you for having us. We like
Thank
to
you.
be had.
Thank you.